YouTube, what's going on? BD Woke 1980 here, aka Bezell, the man to see, the place to be in the QCNC. Well, happy Saturday to you all. Hope you're doing well. I most certainly am. Welcome into your TNA Impact review for January 23rd, 2015. Feast or fired. All right, here we go. 12 men, 4 briefcases, 3 title shots, and 1 pink slip. All right, and here we go. And to TNA's credit, unfortunately, every time this has gone down, somebody really has been let go. So let's see what happens tonight. Tonight's contenders are the Wolves, Eddie Edwards, David Richards, Gunner, Bram, Magnus, Austin Aries, Crazy Steve, Rockstar Spud, Samuel Shaw, and the Bromans, all 3 of them, DJ Z, Jesse Goddard, and Robbie E. Okay? Right from the get-go, lots of action. Robbie E goes for the case. Quickly, Crazy Steve cuts him off. Then Steve goes for the case, and Velvet comes in. She shakes her booty to distract him. Steve, which is, I think, actually the funniest segment of the match. Now, Velvet's in there shaking her booty in front of Steve to kind of, get his distraction. Steve looks at it, looks at her, and just fans her off. It was hilarious. He ends up climbing up the pole, goes for the case. But she ends up climbing up as well. She blows Steve a kiss, which does distract him. From there, Robbie E takes him out, and then he grabs the first case. Later on, Spud, he climbs up to try to grab the case, but he's actually too short. He can't even reach it. He and Sam Shaw brawl. Gunner comes in. He knocks Shaw on the top rope, which kind of takes him out. It hits him in the lower regions. From there, Spud climbs on Shaw's shoulders and gets the case. Now Spud has a case. From there, we get suicide dives, one from DJ Z, then one from Aries, but he actually teases it, then stops in his tracks, instead runs up the turnbuckle, grabs the case. I really love that. It was very smart, very heelish, actually. From there, Aries sets down the case, and then he does do a dive onto the other wrestlers on the outside. There's 1 case left. Gunner and Bram are brawling. Gunner climbs up, but Bram cuts him off. They fight on the top turnbuckle. Then Magnus comes in. We get a Tower of Doom style spot because it really wasn't. Looks like there was a little bit of botchery involved as well. But it did take out Gunner and Bram. Magnus climbs up. He gets the case. You can read Bram's lips after this happens. He says, "That should have been mine," or "That was mine." So we definitely have some dissension in the ranks. So your winners are Magnus, Robbie E, Rockstar Spud, and Austin Aries as far as those who got the cases. From there, it shows Lashley backstage. He's going to the ring. He says he's going to get his title back. From there, we get another break. Magnus is in the back talking to the cameraman, and then Bram storms in. He said he even shoves Magnus and says that was his case, that was mine. Magnus says, "Hey, this is every man for himself." He says, "I got you a job here." And from there, we're even. And then from there, we get a pseudo shoving match. Security kind of comes in, breaks it up. We get another break. From there, Lashley comes to the ring with no belt. We get a recap of the whole BDC taking Lashley's title. He says, "Bring me my title." Man, a few words. Actually, he says, "Bring me my title now." From there, Kenny King comes out. And he says, "Lashley wouldn't be champ without the help of the BDC. You are ungrateful and you're ugly." From there, Lashley says, "Bring me my title again." King says, "You want to fight? Then you'll get a fight." And the rest of the BDC does come out. Of course, Kenny King isn't rolling alone. There we go. From the start of the match, actually, surprisingly, King holds his own. But Lashley, he gets back in control as he should, being the man that he is, the former champion that he is. He gets back in control with the power game. We get a nice hanging vertical suplex. Crowd was behind Lashley, believe it or not. They were totally behind him the whole time of the match. We do get a spear to Kenny King after a missed springboard off the rope. Like him or hate him, King did look good here, and he did get the job done. The BDC jumps in at this point, boosts to Lashley, jumping him. MVP grabs the mic. He says, "You want this title back? You're going to have to take it back. I'll see you in the streets if you really want it." Boy, as a matter of fact, yeah. From there, later on, we get a break. It shows Lashley. He's limping back to the locker room. Looks very determined, very angry. We get another break. We get a video package of Awesome Kong, her history with TNA. Very well done video package. Now it's time for knockouts time. It's Havok versus Gail Kim. Brawl starts as soon as Gail Kim comes halfway down the ramp. We get a crossbody from Gail to Havok to the outside. The bell rings finally, and then another crossbody from the top rope to Havok for a 1 count. But the power of Havok cannot be denied, and she gets back in there. She delivers stomps in the corners, a corner splash. Havok chokes Gail with her cape even till the ref, does a ref break. We get a bear hug into a spine buster for a 2 count. Let's Go Gail chants begin to erupt from the crowd, but Havok is still in control. We get a knee smash. Commentators note that Havok is sending a message to Kong. I really enjoyed that part. So once again, we get some really good commentary from Josh Matthews and Taz. No knock on TNA, because TNA, you're my boy, but it does feel fresh. From there, let's see, not caring about the rules. Hold on one second. Yes. Havok is sending a message to Kong, but not caring about the rules, she shoves the ref. A DQ ensues. Gail Kim wins, but Havok doesn't stop there. She slams her face first into the bell table, then puts her into the ring for the Harlot Slayer, but the lights go out before she can deliver it. As soon as they cut back on, Awesome Kong appears. They exchange blows this time, but it does end quickly. Kong goes over with a clothesline, knocking Havok over the top rope, and that's how the exchange ends. So there you go. We actually got some physicality this time, but once again, they're still taking it slowly. We're getting a nice tease to probably, hopefully, an epic battle. From there, we get a recap of EC3's challenge to German Borash, but then it goes, now it's time to the Impact Zone. From there, we go Tigre Uno, which they bring up. They actually brought up his AAA past, which they never done before, and Josh Matthews brought it up. I really enjoyed that. Once again, acknowledging wrestlers being from other organizations. I can enjoy that. It's going to be Tigre Uno versus Khoya, and this is his debut. He does come out with the full Revolution by his side. Now, bear in mind, everyone, Khoya is representing India. India is a huge market, and they love wrestling. They really do. Why do you think the Great Khali had a job for so long in the WWE? I mean, they want to have an Indian star for the Hindu market. That's just the way it is. And this is a real opportunity for TNA with Khoya because they've already had an Indian presence. I know it's been a while since we've seen someone like, Sanjay Dutt, but at the end of the day, Khoya, this is their new chance. He's got a really good look. He looked very strong, very intense. Let's talk about what he did. So Khoya's representing India, and TNA, they have a good international presence, believe it or not. Despite the ratings they get here in the States, they actually have a good international presence. But here we go. Khoya's the hometown hero as far as India is concerned. After a big-time slap from Storm to fire Khoya up, Khoya just brings the power for a super-duper beatdown of Tigre Uno for a quick 1-2-3 after a sky high, which looked very nice. Khoya was your winner. I mean, it was literally that fast, which that's what we were expecting because after last week's build-up of Storm saying Khoya's going to bring destruction, well, that's what we got. So poor Tigre Uno, but he had to do a job tonight. From there, Storm grabs the mic. He cuts a promo. He says tonight that Matt Hardy, I am deadlier than any pill you've ever taken, any drink you've ever had. This is the revolution. There's always room for one more. So I like that promo. Even though it was short and to the point, he made it personal, talking about how, we know, some of you may know, some of you may not know, but Matt Hardy has had a kind of roller coaster past when it comes to substance abuse and things of that nature. So they really made it personal. From there, shows Kurt Angle. He's backstage. Bobby Roode joins him. Roode says he doesn't care anything about this tag team match. All he wants is EY one-on-one. Roode says for 2 years he worked hard to get back into the title picture. He finally gets it, and his best friend steals it from him by stabbing him in the back. Kurt says, well, I'm back in the ring tonight. I'm not the director of operations, so either you get on board or you're going to get left behind. I mean, Kurt Angle doesn't have time for the personal stuff. Let's go out here and let's win a match like two professionals. From there, Rockstar Spud is shown backstage. He says he can be champ. He's holding his briefcase. He says he can be fired. He says if he is fired, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to take care of EC3. He's going to punch him in the face. He doesn't care if it's in the ring or if it's in the street. From there, it's time for a match. Eric Young and Low Key versus Kurt Angle and Bobby Roode. So here we go. Now, how can this be bad? Here we go. Low Key and Angle, they start things off. Good, clean work from two professionals. Roode gets tagged in. He continues the trend. EY gets tagged, and he and Roode go at it with Roode and I can't even read what I wrote here. him and Rude go at it with Rude in control, excuse me. But EY hits a DDT, and then he gains control, and then he slaps a quick tag to Low Key. Rude needs a tag to Kurt badly at this point. He's getting totally worked over. He finally gets it, and Kurt comes in. He cleans house, but your finish comes when EY hits a chair onto Rude while he has Low Key in the crossface. Low Key gets a pin for your 1, your 2, your 3. Low Key and EY win. Good match, but just way too short. Just But I get it. You know, you gotta space things out. You know, maybe they'll get us on a pay-per-view / special event match, which would be fine with me. I can easily handle this. I don't care if it's a tag match. At the end of the day, these guys, how can you go wrong? I will note to some of you who wonder how Kurt Angle is doing. It looked like he was in pretty good shape. He did have a very extensive knee brace on tonight, so I hope he's doing okay with that knee. But he did look good in the ring. From there, we get MVP. He says to Lashley, meet me one-on-one in the streets. No BDC, just you and me. All right. From there, EC3 and Spud, they show the rivalry video package. Very well done, kind of encapsulating everything that has happened. From there, EC3, and he did have a sling on his arm tonight. Maybe he must be injured. It was it had the it was more of a metal brace, like the type you would see on a knee. So he must be rocking an injury that we don't know about. But he did come out with that. It's going to be EC3 versus Jeremy Borash. From there, EC3 announces that he has some. Oh, excuse me. EC3 announces himself, but we get some claps. We get a lot of boos. JB comes out with Spud. He looks very focused tonight. The bell rings. EC3 grabs the mic, does more yapping. He announces himself and says that, hey, not only can I wrestle, I can do this better than you. JB says the people say you can't wrestle and you can't announce either. And from there, he sucker punches EC3, goes to town on EC3, forearm shots, knees to the face. But obviously, you know, it don't last so long. EC3 does take control. Spud comes in and helps as best he can until Tyrus comes in as well. From there, out of the crowd, the winner of the British Boot Camp this year, Mark Andrews, comes in. He helps clean house. The crowd, unfortunately, did not give a darn. I didn't hear. I mean, I thought I was watching a church service. It was that quiet for the poor guy. So I hope he doesn't be discouraged by that. And plus, I don't know who he is, just like the crowd didn't know who he is. TNA did no build-up of this young man, so how can you blame us? But he got no reaction. From there, we got a double drop kick from Spud and Andrews to Tyrus, sending him outside. Then a shooting star press from Andrews to Tyrus as well. Very well done, over the top rope to the outside. So he definitely can work, but once again, he got no reaction. There was no build-up. There was no anything. Come on, TNA. This is your chance. This is your chance to really get going here. New network, new home, new audience. All of us diehards, we're going to be there. But I know with Destination America, you're reaching some people that have never seen your product before. You got to take advantage of that. But let's keep going here, okay? From there, it's James Storm versus Matt Hardy. Both men, obviously, they're good at what they do. We get some good action. Hardy's in control of the match at first, inside and outside of the ring. Even stares shots to the face of Storm. Slower paced match, a lot of brawling. We do see a side effect from Matt. We get a missed last call from Storm. The finish comes when Storm goes in for the eye of the Storm, but Hardy reverses him into a simple inside cradle for a 1, 2, 3. So really quick, obviously this is not over yet. From there, Storm tries to offer a handshake to Hardy, obviously trying to lure him into the Revolution. Matt refuses. Then Abyss jumps in and attacks Matt in the back. From there, we do get a last call super kick from Storm delivered to Hardy. Jeff Hardy runs in. He cleans house. And then from there, he says, next week, Abyss, you, me, Monsters Ball. All right, that should be interesting. Let's see what happens. For some of you that don't know, I believe, you know, Jeff Hardy's legal issues have kind of, I don't want to say they caught up with him, but at the end of the day, we are grown men. We do what we do, and we accept the consequences. But he cannot travel overseas this year. And I believe that was the case last year, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So they're going to have to do something with him to where he might be taken out. And I think this is how they're going to do it, unfortunately. So I don't see next week being good for Hardy. From there, they tease us that it'll be time for the decisions or opening of the briefcases for Feast or Fire. MVP, he tells Joe that, hey, don't you dare come out here. I don't need no help. I got this. From there, we're into the back room. Christy Hemme is the MC. It is Feast or Fire time. Spud is the first one to open up. Nervously, he does so, and he actually wins the X Division title shot. He's so happy and relieved he's not fired. One down. Let's see what happens. From there, Magnus, he opens his briefcase. He wins the tag title shot. So from there, he escapes being fired. He doesn't name who his partner will be next week. Obviously, with him and Bram having some friction, I'm curious to wonder who it is. From there, Robbie's turn to open up. He says that Velvet grabbed it, so if anything should happen, it should be for her. I'm the smartest wrestler around here. That's why I didn't grab it. So he planned like this was completely planned on his part. Velvet opens up, and unfortunately, they played music. They kind of built drama up to it. And you knew before she even clicked the hinges off of the briefcase that she was going to be fired. And that was kind of sad and weak. TNA, we didn't see that coming. All you had to do was say, hey, you know, Velvet, just, you know, I'm outsmarted you. You open it up. Let's see what happens. They played music. We knew as soon as she opened it up, she was gone. And that's what happened. Velvet Sky is fired from TNA Wrestling. Thank you for the years. Thank you for the fun. Thank you for the pleasure to the eyes. But Velvet Sky is gone. And obviously, Austin Aries doesn't even have to open it up because at this point, you know, he has already won the world title shot. From there, it goes to the streets. Lashley and MVP are already brawling in the streets. And of course, despite all the don't come out, I got this, blah, 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 the BDC clan comes in, they jump in, they destroy Lashley. Rude and Angle, they come out to help. Rude ends up, they end up cleaning the house, and then Rude grabs the title. He looks at it obsessively. He stares down at it. Then he stares at Lashley. Weird ending. Almost seemed to the point of like, would he do anything to hold the title, or does he really want the title? Will he join the BDC just to get his hands around the title? Very weird segment there. Very interesting ending. I'll take it. But a good show. I enjoyed it. Lots of talking. You know, they kind of been up on that lately, but you got to set up the storyline. Velvet Sky, if you really are going, which past has taught us that with Feast or Fired, usually whoever opens that fire briefcase, we don't see anymore. So if that's the case, thank you very much. You know, thank you for your years with, you know, of service with TNA. You had your title run as well. Thank you very much. But at the end of the day, good show. I enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. Comment down below. What'd you think? What'd you think of Khoya's debut? What do you think of the whole Rude, the way he looked at that title at the end? I mean, that was really strange. He seems like he might try to, I don't know, we might see some swerve action later on. But either way, my interest is piqued. I hope yours is as well. Stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you go out there and have a good weekend. If you're interested in the WWE Royal Rumble, we're going to have your coverage right here tomorrow night, preferably as soon as the show ends. So stay tuned. Share, like, comment, subscribe. Be good to one another. Be good to yourself. Be true to yourself. And I will see you later, okay, my friends? You know, make sure you go out there and you have a good day today. It's been cold lately, but it's actually starting to turn out to be a beautiful day here in the QCNC, and I hope it is in your neck of the woods. And I will see you later. Bezell out. Peace, my friends.